3:21 in the morning. It's been a hot minute since I filmed one of these, but today I have another sneaker convention. I am insanely pumped. This is the first one of 2023, and this is the first time that Sneakercon has ever been in Philadelphia. I got like an hour and a half drive, so hopefully I'll get there by 5. Let's hustle over there though. 4:56, I'm here, and the line is crazy deep already. Philly is about to be a fucking movie. Even though I got there 2 hours before the doors were even supposed to open for vendors, there were still already dozens of people and about 15 cars that had lined the entire block. So like I said, man, the line's already super deep. This is gonna be quite the show for sure. 6:05, and it looks like they're letting us in a little bit early. Updates to follow. By 6:15, I had my car parked at the loading dock and I was waiting in line to get my table. So it's a shade past 6, probably like 6:30 or so. I am already well into getting the table set up. I'm gonna give you guys a brief overview of what the convention center looks like. The Philly Convention Center is absolutely massive and was large enough to house several hundred vendors for this event. In the middle of the convention center, they partition off different booths for all of the sponsors of the event. Everybody loads in from the loading dock, which is pretty large, but unfortunately somewhat inconveniently located. So it just hit 7 o'clock. Already got the car parked. Now it's just a matter of getting the table set up. Pretty pumped on what today has to hold. Let's get in there and find out. Since I got to the venue so early, I was able to get unloaded and parked before the majority of vendors had even entered the loading dock. Now I had to get my table set up. Get it cracking real soon setting up that table, but first let's cruise around the place. Because I got there so early, there were only a few dozen vendors that were in the process of getting set up, as everybody else was still getting unloaded into the venue. As I got to the middle of the venue, I noticed this dope Lamborghini SUV that they had parked, along with a whole bunch of other cool booths. Pretty soon the homies from San Diego Custom Footwear will be over here at the Monster Station. I know that Ray has a pretty dope project in store for today. He's gonna be making a pair of shoes, maybe 2, something like that. Walking around the Philadelphia Convention Center definitely gave me an appreciation for exactly how massive this place was. It made me think that this show had huge potential. I started to get set up and I realized that I had a pretty much even spread of Pokemon cards, custom kicks, and shoes for sale. About 9:15 right now. I already am totally set up, and show doesn't start for another 2.5 hours. Still a lot more tables that need to be filled up. Try to take a quick look around, but again, can't really leave the stand too much today. Even though I couldn't stray too far from my table, I was able to check out some of the booths in my direct vicinity. A lot of the vendors that were right around me were already about 90% of the way set up, and I realized that there was a really cool selection of kicks, as well as some dope artwork in my direct neighborhood. Right across from me, the booth that was set up had some amazing gems, including this pair of Spider-Verse Jordan 1s that's slated to release. A couple of booths to the left of me, Souls by Zay had dozens of pairs of the Tiffany Air Force 1s. And of course, my booth had an eclectic selection of custom pairs of kicks, Pokemon cards, and a few dozen pairs of sneakers just up for sale. In my direct neighborhood, there were definitely a lot of really dope booths with some really cool pairs of kicks and some familiar faces. So it actually just hit noon, which means that doors should be opening anytime now. Definitely a lot more activity in the building. Already made one sale, and now it is time to sell some more. 12:25, doors have officially opened and we are getting the day going. Had another sale, sold a Pokemon tin. Doing okay, getting started here. Let's take a look. You guys will be able to see a little bit of the traffic coming through. Right off the bat, when doors opened, it seemed like traffic was going to be a little bit slow, but within a period of 5 minutes, the corridors were absolutely flooded with people, and it was shoulder to shoulder with foot traffic. You can tell that this place got incredibly packed incredibly quickly, and I had a constant stream of customers at my booth throughout the whole day. It's 3 o'clock, which means that we are 3 hours into the show. This place is hopping right now. It's been pretty busy for the past couple of hours. Made a couple more sales. Sold some Pokemon cards, another pair of kicks. Honestly, it was hard to film throughout this show because I just had so many people that were at my table throughout the course of the entire day. 5 o'clock and the show has been absolutely nuts. I haven't been able to step away from the booth once because it has been a constant flow of people. Made a bunch of good sales actually. Pokemon cards are absolutely flying right now. It's been packed ever since it opened and it just is staying consistent throughout the entire day. Quite honestly, Philadelphia has been fire as far as Sneakercon is concerned. As the end of the convention approached, foot traffic definitely died down a bit, and at 7 o'clock they closed the doors and kicked everybody out, and it was time to pack up. Sneakercon Philly is officially over. Obviously today I wasn't able to get quite as much footage as normal, so a little bit of a shorter vlog than what you guys are used to, but I do have a little bit of time before everybody is finished cleaning up where I can kind of scoot around and show you guys the remainder of what's going on. Sneakercon is always a good turnout, and Philadelphia is definitely well worth it. Even though I wasn't able to step away from the booth at all during the show, it was pretty cool to be able to cruise around afterwards and see some of the kicks that were still on display from vendors that hadn't packed up all the way quite yet. There were a lot of really uniquely set up booths, and I was really impressed with some of the amazing displays that I saw and some of the kicks that hadn't been packed away quite yet. It's pretty obvious that Sneakercon Philly was a dope show, and I'm pretty bummed that I didn't have the chance to step away from my booth to check it out while it was still busy, but I couldn't leave all my stuff unattended and I didn't want to take that risk. It was really nice to see some familiar faces, and this show was a huge success. So again, pretty crazy, huge venue, still a bunch of people packing up. I am ready to get out of here and call it a day, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Thank you guys for everybody that tuned in. As per usual, make sure that you check out the social media at Sailboat Supplies. And thank you to everybody that stuck around to the cold bitter end. You guys know that I'm Sailboat, and I'm out of here.